great day, my obsessed with genealogy family. How are you guys doing today? I'm super excited to have started this channel, and I'm super excited of what God has done and is doing and will continue to do in all of our lives. I encourage you, as always, to give yourself positive affirmations to speak and to speak life um, over yourself. And so I try to tell myself every day I'm getting better. All areas of my life is improving in Jesus' name. So let's get started. So today's topic, as you can see, is I took my DNA test. Now what do I do? I took my DNA test. Now what do I do? And that is a question among a lot of people. Um, I come across people that have taken their tests and don't understand their tests or the results. Um, they don't understand the results, so they reach out for help. Um, and that's just something that I do with the knowledge that I have. Again, I am not an expert. I have been researching um, since 2017, and to give you a little to kind of go back a little bit and give you a little background of who I am. I started this journey in 2017 after my father died to be able to trace his side of the family, because I only knew um, personally my aunt. Never met my uncle, never met my grandparents. My grandfather was already gone by the time I was born. Um, but my grandmother died the year that I graduated high school. And even though we lived in the same city, miles apart, not long at all, I never ever met her. I did not meet my other three siblings until, I'm going to say I was about 21, something like that. Um, but yeah, and we have a great relationship. My other siblings that I did not grow up with, but we have a very great relationship, and I'm thankful for that. So anyway, so I started doing genealogy after my father died, and the rest is history. I have reclaimed um, a burial ground on my mother's side. I am currently working on reclaiming our family's church on my mom's side in South Carolina. Ooh, I have helped several people to locate their families. Um, and I'm working on currently am working on a book called My Journey to Family. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me, and as time goes on, you guys will learn a little bit more. So let's start. Let's start again. I took my DNA test. Now what do I do? And again, I said people, ask that question. So what I often suggest to people, and I like to teach people how to analyze their DNA, or again, give them the knowledge that I have to be able to just start um, dissecting all that this information comes with. And so I would say start with color coding. And in another video, I would go over how to color code. So, or how I color code. I'm not going to say that my way is the best way and the only way, because it's definitely not. But you need to start color coding. Well, what is color coding? Just a brief overview of that. It's just a tool that Ancestry has put in built within the Ancestry um, services, where you can um, assign colors to represent that lineage. It's the best way I can put it. So just say your father's mother's side. You may not necessarily know that that is your father's mother's side, but you can um, identify that side with a pink color. Okay, your father's dad's side, you can identify that side with a purple color. So that's color coding. And it is a method. Can't say the word. There is a method to it. And again, briefly, the way I was taught is you don't use like your first or second cousins. You start with your third cousins on down, and begin to go from there. So again, I will have a separate video that's just basically on color coding. Um, so once you do that, that helps. Oh, I want to say that when I started color coding, Ancestry did not have the two where they have already split up your maternal and your paternal side. So now you don't have to try to guess who is your maternal side or your paternal side per se. And I'm saying that because it doesn't say, hey, this is your maternal side or this is your paternal side. But it'll say parent one, parent two. And most of us will know, okay, I know this is my mother's side because um, my sister is on this side and we have different dads. And I do want to say that is one thing that I did do because I have all half siblings. I do not have any whole siblings. So with that being said, it was easier for me to get my sister on my mom's side tested and get my brother on my dad's side to test. And so once I got those results, then I knew, okay, this is my maternal side. This is my paternal side. So it was easier for me in that sense. So that is a tactic that you can use to determine your sides, who is parent one, who is parent two, who is your maternal side, who is your paternal side. You can use that. But again, when I started color coding and using Ancestry, they didn't even have it split up on parent one and parent two. So it is a lot easier now. Kudos to Ancestry for that. Um, so yeah, so you can separate your maternal side and your paternal side, color code them. Just know you're gonna have two sides to your maternal side starting off. It grows, right? So, and we'll probably get into that a little bit more too at a later video. But know your maternal side consists. Sometimes I think we forget that when you're first starting off. But just know your maternal side begins with a mother and father side. So you're going to have your mother and father side to your maternal side. You're going to have a mother and father side to your maternal side. So you're going to have two sets of grandparents. Okay? Um, so how do you get started? Once you gotten your results, you want to start color coding. Okay? And then two, um, you can start labeling them once you color code and you say, oh, okay, well, I know that this is, just say my mom's dad's side. I know the Carter family is my mom's dad's side, and you know your Carter connections. I want to say it's important to test as many people in your family as absolutely possible. I have a 95-year-old first cousin one time removed on my Carter line, my maternal dad side that I tested. She's 95. One of the best things I could have ever done. She didn't, some people are hesitant, about doing it. Not at all. It was absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate her so much for doing that. So she has helped me a lot. I use her DNA a lot for that lineage. So in lineage, line, people say that line, some people say that lineage, but it's just that line of family, okay? And so you'll get to know about lineage and what is lineage. Okay, so get as many people in your family to be test as possible, okay? So once you do that, you will see how much it will help you in your research because, for instance, I can say I can pick either my half sister or brother, that they are all older than me. I am the youngest of, let me see, of about 14 children. I'm the youngest, right? So, I have to count y'all, it's too many of them. so, yeah, so, try to get as many people tested. And if when you see the results, you'll say, hey, well, on my mama's dad's side, on my Carter line, why don't match this person and my sister do? Well, it's all in the DNA. And I wanted to say I'm the youngest, and I don't know this for sure, but what I've seen is all of my, both of my siblings match more people than I do. And I just feel like, and it would make sense scientifically that, I'm younger, so the lineage, or the DNA is kind of, especially if they're already a lower CM, and I have another video talking about CMs too. So stay tuned. We got a lot of videos coming up. So especially if they're lower CM, and when you're dealing with ancestry, anything below 8 CMs, it doesn't show up. It was a time, not recently, but last year I believe it was, that they took that away. But they used to show lower CMs, but they no longer do that. So, and it is hard to find, but it's possible. So don't let nobody tell you, oh, you can't find, lower than 8, and that's not true, because I have found a CM that was lower than 8, and I was able to place them in my tree, and I know exactly how we were related. So getting back to that. So I have found, not a proven fact, but I have found that your siblings may match other people or more people that you do not. And it may be the same for you. I may match people that my brother doesn't match, or my sister does not match. So don't be alarmed. That's normal. Just know they're your family too. So you can count them in. If they're on your same line that you are related to your sibling, as is me and my sister, if I know they're on my mom's line, then okay, duh, they're my cousin too. I just don't match them, okay? So just keep that in mind. So you can color code to separate the families. Um, and then after you color code, then you can start working with. So normally, if I color code and I don't know who that lineage is, or that side of the family is, then I would put group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, right? Because you're going to start off with those two, right, on each side. So group 1, it's a mystery. I don't know who they are. And I feel like I'm going a little too ahead of myself, but I'll scratch the surface of what I do. But group 1, okay, I don't know who they are. So let me start looking at these names in group 1 and see if I recognize anyone. If I do not recognize anyone, then I'm starting to look for what we call common ancestors, okay? Common ancestors are very important. Common ancestors are vital to finding your family, or even being able to recognize who your family is. I learned that the hard way. Another tip I want to say is follow the DNA. I cannot express that enough. I heard that so many times that it just became a saying. Okay, that's just a saying. That's just something that everybody says. No, it is true. You will save yourself a lot of time. I'm going to say this again. I think I'm going to say it 2 more times. You will save yourself a lot of time. I got to say it again. You will save yourself a lot of time if you follow the DNA. I know what you heard. I know what you was told. But I am telling you, as a person that has been doing this for almost 10 years that you need to follow the DNA. Remember, you took your DNA test for a reason. You're trying to find your true family. You're not trying to run around circles for years like I did, trying to find your paternal lineage. Follow the DNA, okay? Follow it. Find that common ancestor. So if I'm successful, I will have a picture up now to show you. You pull up your DNA list matches, your matches on Ancestry. It will show you DNA matches. Normally it's thousands, okay? And that's okay. You want to start off with the one that's closest to you, meaning the highest CMs. Again, your CMs can be 8 centimeters up to thousands, 3,800, thousands, right? So the one that has the highest number will be first on your DNA list. At the top, it has, you can sort by parents, or you could just have all your matches. Start off with all your matches at the beginning. But if you're using your groups, your group one, and you don't know who they are, then that's the best route to go. If you say, oh, I know this is my dad's side of the family, then you can filter and just look at your paternal side only. I love that feature that Ancestry has implemented also. So either way, all matches or just on your paternal side or your maternal side, whichever you want to do. The key is to look at the closest match. And if you recognize that match or you don't, and let's just pretend you do not recognize that match, on the underneath the name of that person to the right at the bottom, hopefully I have a picture up here or there, you want to hit the button that says shared matches, okay? On your shared matches, and I know this is a lot of information, it's recorded so you can go back and replay it, because DNA and finding your family is a lot. It will take time. You have, if you truly want to find your family, you have to be committed. You can, another tip is you can get people on board with you to help you. I did. I still reach out to cousins to this day that know more than me, that are more experienced than me, right? So hit that share a match button and another list is going to populate. What that means is you, whoever that person you click that was the highest CM in your DNA matches, you and that person, I'm just going to say me and my brother Tyrone, right? Me and Tyrone, I clicked him because he's the closest to me in my matches. I clicked Tyrone. I hit the share match button. That share match button is, what that is telling me is that these are all the people that you and Tyrone match together. They're your shared matches, right? Okay? So I already know, because Tyrone is on my paternal side, I know that all of these people are on my paternal side, on my dad's side. So I'm going to use, my dad is a male. I'm going to use blue. You use whatever color you want. Pink, purple, yellow, green, a lot of colors. So I'm going to use blue, a dark blue, right? To represent my dad's side of the family. But wait a minute. I don't know if this is my dad's mom's side or my dad's side, but I'm not worried about that right now. What I'm worried about is my paternal line. Because you want to, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. This is a lot of information to digest. It's a lot of information to break down. So what you want to do is take it slow. Pace yourself. It has taken me years to find the information that I now have. So another tip, be patient. Be in it. It's like investing in the stock market. You don't put money in to get out tomorrow, right? It's a long-term goal, right? So that's what you do. You take your time whenever you have free time, whenever you feel like doing it. Again, solicit other people to help you. A lot of times people are working on their own projects, but if they're at a place where, like I say, a landing space where they can kind of sit back a little bit and breathe, then people will be willing to help you. It's plenty of resources on Facebook that search angels for adoption, DNA detectives, just plenty of people on there that's willing to help you, and great generous people. So again, another tip is to link yourself with Facebook pages, Facebook groups that deals with DNA, and people that can help you with finding your family. So you want to color code. I picked the color blue, so I'm going to put a blue dot for me. I'm going to put a blue dot for Tyrone. Now, when you have family member, like just say me and Tyrone, we're going to have several dots as we go on, because again, we have that maternal line for our father and our paternal line, right? So we're going to have 2 dots for those lines, and then I'm going to have 2 more dots. For the Tyrone, we'll have 2 more dots. So we're going to have a total of 4 dots for our maternal and paternal line, right? All right, so we got blue, I'm blue, Tyrone is blue, and then everybody in that share match is blue. I know now that Jack Johnson is on my dad's side. Now, I don't know if Jack Johnson is on my dad's mom's side or my dad's side. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But what I am going to do is color code that. And you do the same thing for your maternal line. Anybody else that's not in there and you know it's on your maternal line, they're not matching up, then you continue the process. And again, I will get into more detail on how I do it, whether I do it the right way or not the right way. This is how I have done it, and it has worked for me. Okay? So again, you've taken your DNA test. You want to know where do you go next. You want to start color coding. You want to start to see if you recognize any people. You want to identify who these people is. Now, so we done color code this line, right? This lineage. And then what you want to do is look at people that have trees. When you look for the people that have trees, you want to click on that tree and see who are their family, their family are. You're basically looking at, you care about the first name, but you're really looking at surnames, which is the last name, right? Another tip I want to say, when you are building your tree, make sure you put the ladies or the women surnames. Who were they before they got married? I see this all the time. It doesn't bother me. It's just that you have to correct it because you don't want to repeat that. And you want to keep their maiden name intact. And that's some of the times that's why it becomes hard to trace women, because they lose their identity when you do not continuously record their maiden name. That is so important. And once you get into this, you will see how important it is to keep a woman's surname intact, or her maiden name before marriage intact. Okay? So you want to look at those last names on all of those share matches that have trees and see who the common ancestor is. That's how I find the common ancestors. Some people, a lot of people, have no trees at all. They just wanted to do their DNA and see what they're made of, see if they're Nigerian, or see if they're European, or if they're Asian, if they're, whatever. So they can care less about building a tree, or they might not have time to build a tree, or it's just not something that's important to them. So just be prepared for that. I do reach out to people that do not have trees if they're of importance. It depends on how bad I need that information. And I will go in the message. You can message anybody that's on on Ancestry, and you can go in there and message them. And hey, do you mind? I normally start with grandparents and great grandparents and location. Where were they from? Where were their parents from? Things like that. Some people are very generous and give you that information. Some people never answer at all. Some people answer and only give you basic information. So just be prepared for that. That people might not be as open or even have the same goals as you, so they're just not interested. Um, so yeah, so you color code those. You try to find that common ancestor, um, and that's important. So I don't want to go into too much more, but I think we have gotten off to a great start on what do you do with that information next. Um, I will as a cap on this is that um, once you get into it, there are other resources where you can download your DNA from Ancestry and upload it to other sites that would give you more information, like I call it GEDmatch or GEDmatch, GEDmatch.com, GEDmatch.com. If you upload it to that, I call it a DNA pool. That's what I call GEDmatch or GEDmatch. I call it a DNA pool because it doesn't matter if you took your test on MyHeritage, or you did it on 23andMe, or you did it on Ancestry. No matter where you put, if you're able to download your DNA, you can upload it to GEDmatch and see other family members that have also done their DNA. That is how I found my niece, because she did hers on 23andMe and I did mine on Ancestry, so we never would have known each other existed. Thank goodness she knew about GEDmatch and she put it up there, and I put mine up there, and yeah, I found my niece, and it was a brother that I did not even know existed. So yeah, so that was pretty interesting. So GEDmatch is a great resource too, but I feel like if you're just starting off, you're just starting with that, you can still do that, but and use it at a later date. Like, it doesn't go away. So you can upload it to that and let it sit there until you're ready to go forward with that. Because right now you're gathering information, trying to find common ancestors and talking to people, um, finding, cousins and stuff that your DNA matched to, and talking to them about information. Oral history is very important. I am seeing the fruits of things that I heard about my paternal line, not knowing whether it was true or false. So you take all of those things with a grain of salt, and you just kind of put it in your back pocket until the time is right. And you will know when the time is right, because you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. Now I know that what my cousin said, da da da. So it's an amazing adventure. It's an amazing journey. Um, I wouldn't. I was born for this. I was born for this. One of my cousins on my mom's side, she said something that touched me, and I never will forget it. She said, Marie, because I have, on that side, I have 11, well, I make the 11th sibling. I'm the baby of all. She said, Marie, out of all the children, and she was even talking about the cousins, um, she said, God picked you. Mm, that was something. So if you are obsessed with genealogy, God picked you. If you are obsessed with finding your family and all of its history, the good and the bad, because there will be not so good stuff, maybe bad stuff that you consider. I take it all with a grain of salt. I take it all joy, the good and the bad. God picked you. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride. Um, because it will be, if you want it to be, it will be a great experience. Are you going to get frustrated at times? Yes. Are you going to need to take a break sometimes? Yes. And all of that is okay. But it's also okay to be obsessed with genealogy and to find your family. Thank you so much for watching Obsessed with Genealogy family. Stay encouraged. Speak life to yourself. You're wonderful. You're fearfully made. You're unique. There's nobody like you. So keep it on and let the Lord guide you. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.